Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a regular meeting of the Newark Zoning Board of Adjustment. Today's date is Thursday, September 4th, 2025. The purpose of this meeting is to hear requests for variances from the Newark zoning and land use regulations under the authority of the municipal land use law. If you're an applicant for a D or use variance, you should be aware that such a variance can only be granted after showing that special reasons for the grant of the variance exist, and that the variance can be granted without substantial detriment to the zoning plan of the city of Newark. Excuse me, you should also be aware that in order to be granted such a variance, you require an affirmative vote of 5 members of the 7-member Board of Adjustment. Other variances require a majority of 4 votes to grant the variance. If you're an applicant for any variance and your variance is denied, you have a right to appeal to the Superior Court of the State of New Jersey within 45 days of notice of the decision, and that court may overturn the decision of this board. If you're an objector to any type of variance and the variance is granted, you too may appeal to the Superior Court of the State of New Jersey within 45 days of the decision of this board. If you do file an appeal of the board's decision, we ask that in addition to complying with any notice required by statute or court rule, that you serve a copy of your pleadings on the zoning board secretary. Pursuant to the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act, also known as the Sunshine Law, adequate notice of this meeting was provided by notifying the Star Ledger, the Jersey Journal, the Newark City Clerk, and posting a copy of the agenda on the bulletin board in the basement of Newark City Hall. In addition to notice under the Open Public Meetings Act, electronic notice of this remote public meeting was placed on the City of Newark's website as permitted by statute. Members of the public may notify us that you would like to ask questions or make statements by using the raised hand feature located at the bottom of your computer screen or mobile device. If you are calling in on the phone, you can press *9 on the telephone to do the same. Please note that the board is a quasi-judicial board, and if an appeal is taken, we have to provide a copy of the official transcript to the Superior Court. Your comments on the chat are not part of the official transcript. We want to make sure that any comments you have, any questions you have, and the answers to your questions are properly placed on the official transcript. So please don't use the chat, use the raised hand feature. Additionally, when you use the chat, it pops up on the screen. It's just like speaking out loud, out of turn, if we were meeting in public. So please don't use the chat, use the raised hand feature. The meeting of the Board of Adjustment will now come to order. Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Member Hall.
Present.
Member Hardesty.
Present.
Member Comesañas.
Present.
Member Jones. You said present. Member Rivero.
Present.
Member Cobian.
Present.
Member Torres.
Present.
Chair Alfant.
Present. Madam Secretary, I note that I do not have a copy of each and every findings of fact for tonight's full agenda. So you'll have to take on that added role unless you can present it to me right away. Are there any requests for adjournments or postponements? Requests for adjournments or postponements? I know we have a full agenda tonight. So if there's a request for an adjournment or postponement, please use the raised hand feature. I'd ask you to do so now. Madam Secretary, do you see any raised hands?
No, there are no raised hands.
Well, then let's jump right into our massive agenda. Call the first case, please.
The time is now 6:11 p.m. The first item on tonight's agenda is ZBA 25-22, located at 404 South 11th Street, Block 266, Lot 26 in the West Ward. The applicant is LT Associates LLC. In the R3 zone, the applicant proposes to construct a new two-family. Applicant is seeking 3C variances for insufficient side yard setback, exceeding maximum front yard setback, and exceeding maximum impervious lot coverage. Site plan approval is not required.
Mr. Murphy, is your entire team in? I
My,
see Mr. Zadmir is here. Who's
no, we need John McDonough and we need Pat Lesbriel.
Pat Lesbriel? I see Mr. Lesbriel. Let's bring him in. He's in. And Mr. McDonough is not here. He'll have to be punished.
He may have to be.
He's going to be your last witness,
He's gonna
right?
be our last witness, so
While we well, we can second call you and take another case, but I don't think we
yeah, I
have.
wanted to thank you for putting us first on the agenda. I
Quite
know
all right.
all my political
our pleasure.
capital to make that happen.
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah. Well said, Mr. Murphy. Well said. Why don't you give
I'm gonna
Mr.
give him
McDonough a call, and while we're doing that, I'd ask for anyone who has an interest in this application, objectors or anyone else, to identify yourself by using the raise hand feature at the bottom of your computer screen. If you're on the telephone, you can identify yourselves by pressing *9. I'd ask you to do that now. And while we're waiting for that, since I see that I have no new emails, Ms. Mejia, would you read the findings of fact on this case, please?
Yes. The Board of Adjustment made the following findings of fact with respect to 404 South 11th Street, which is located in Newark's West Side neighborhood, on the southern side of South 11th Street, between South Orange and 14th Avenues. The total site area is approximately 2,259.75 square feet. The surrounding land uses consist of detached dwellings and vacant parcels.
And since we have you working overtime, Ms. Mejia, do you see any raised hands of objectors?
No, there are no raised hands.
Let the record so reflect. We'll give Mr. Murphy a moment to see if he can contact his errant witness.
I believe he's trying to get on. Do you see him? No.
All I'm trying to get on. Why don't we, unless you're opposed, do you want to get started? And
Yeah, absolutely. I think we can get started here. And thank you, Chair and members of the board. For the record, my name is Chris Murphy with the law firm of Murphy, Schiller, and Wilkes, here on behalf of the applicant and owner of the property, LT Associates LLC. We're here tonight seeking bulk variance relief to permit the construction of a new two-family dwelling on the property. The address is 404 South 11th Street, Block 266, Lot 26. It's located within the R3 residential zone. The use being proposed tonight is a permitted use in the zone. As the board secretary said, we are not seeking site plan approval. This is a two-family dwelling, so site plan approval is not required pursuant to the municipal land use law. But we do have some bulk variance relief being sought in connection with the construction of this dwelling unit. We have a few professionals here to testify, and one on his way. Our first is Patrick Lesbriel, our architect. So, Chair, Madam Secretary.
Mr. Lesbro, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Well, either you didn't answer me or you're muted, Mr. Lesbro.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
There we go. I do.
But you do sound like you're in a tunnel.
Let me switch. Hold on 1 second.
If you do need help here, Mr. Comisanis is a consultant on audio,
Is that better?
Zoom audio problems. I think we'll have to deal with that, right?
I can switch to a headset. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Is that better?
Oh, much better. Thank you. Much better. Mr. Lesbro, could you give us could you state your name, your address, and your relationship to this application, please?
Sure. My name is Patrick Lesbrel. I'm a licensed marketing architect in the state of New Jersey. I'm a member of Brick City Reconstruction PC located at 59 Lincoln Park, Newark, New Jersey. I've been qualified in front of this board prior.
You know, Mr. Lesbro, I got so excited when you first did whatever you did and you lost it again. So
Oh, no. Can you hear now?
That's better, Pat. Yeah, speak right into
Okay.
that thing.
Mr.
I had to turn it up. There we go.
Mr. Lesbro, have you appeared before this board before?
I have.
And were you accepted as an expert in the field of architecture at that time?
I was.
And, excuse me?
I was.
And is your architectural license in the state of New Jersey, does it remain in full force and effect?
It does.
We'll accept Mr. Lesbro as an expert in the field of architecture. And right before I turn it over to you, Council, I failed to note that Commissioner Hardesty has been with us from the beginning of this case. Thank
Great.
you, Council.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chair Alfon. Patrick, you reviewed the plans that were submitted to the board in connection with this application?
I have.
Okay, great. Can you please walk us through the architectural elements of the design?
Sure. I'm just going to share my screen.
There's John So John McDonough has joined.
Mr. McDonough,
He's flying an airplane, it looks like.
your
But-
presence is noted, but we were going to take you first, and now you're going to, as a punishment, you'll be the last witness.
Okay. Is everyone seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the proposed elevation for the site. As you can see, we have a combination of brick, gray brick facade, vertical board and batten vinyl siding. We meet all glazing transparency requirements for the project. Make sure I'm still sharing. You guys see the plans?
Yes.
Okay. So just to briefly walk the board through the plans, it's a two-family house, similar to the other many two families we've designed and built in this city. We have a 19-foot wide by 60-foot long structure. On the first floor, we have 2 parking stalls with a recreation area that has direct access to the first floor unit. A comment made by the city planner, which we're willing to agree to, was to push the 2 cars into the recreation space further. I spoke to my client this afternoon, and we're in agreement with doing that request. Just to briefly walk the board through the bedroom sizes, which is typically the question we go through. We have a master bedroom, which is 12'8" by 11'10". We have 2 smaller bedrooms that are 9 foot by 10 foot. We have a 14-foot by 23-foot kitchen and dining area on the first floor unit, which also then has access to the recreation area on the ground floor. On the third floor of the structure, we again have a 12'8" by 11'10" master bedroom with ensuite bathroom, and then 9 foot by 10 foot bathrooms. John will testify to the C variances. And you want to go to Bauman about the site issues, the site drainage?
Yeah, we can go to our next witness if there are no questions from the board, but just to be clear, Pat, there's no height variance being sought here. There's no variances that would trigger any sort of fee relief where there's simply bulk variances related um to lot size. The first is an existing nonconformity. The required lot size is 2,500 square feet. We have 2,259.75 square feet. The front yard setback, can you explain just a little bit? We're requesting a 6 foot setback as opposed to the 0.51 feet. I believe the reason for that is because we want to accommodate the parking requirement, right?
That is correct. So in order to get the parking, we have to set the building a little bit back off the street so you can actually pull into the driveway.
We have a variance, excuse me, we have a variance exceeding the maximum front yard setback. We talked about that exceeding maximum impervious lot coverage. Is that due to the existing non-conforming condition of the lot, the fact that it's the size that it is?
That is, and then if we shrunk the building anymore, the building wouldn't really be livable.
Okay. Okay, great. I think that's all my questions on direct, Mr. Chair. If you have any questions, obviously, I defer to you.
Thank you, counsel. Are there any questions for the architect from the board? Questions for the architect from the board? Mr. Lisborough, I wonder if you could talk about the variances for side yard. Could you show us, do you have a site, do you have
Sure.
a plan that, and
Okay.
how much?
Yes, I do. Just give me 1 second. Find that folder. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Okay, yeah. So here we have the site plan, prepared by Bauman Engineering. As you can see, the site is irregular and it's actually skewed. So as the house sitting straight, it starts to skew off to the rear of the property, and that's again why the lot is undersized, because it's not a straight 25 by 100 lot. Additionally, on the left side, just for fire safety and window egress, we need to keep 3 feet from the existing lot line to allow for windows on this side of the elevation. So that's why the building starts to get really tight to this side, and we start to have a solid wall. Is all due to the fire codes and the ability for this house to sit on the site. And again, like I was saying, in order to if we started to decrease the size of this unit, it would really become an unbuildable lot, because the staircases and the bedroom sizes would all have to shrink to accommodate that additional space. And as we showed, we only have 9 foot by 10 foot bedrooms now. They would go down to like 6 foot by 10 foot bedrooms if we shrunk the building.
Thanks, Ms. Elizabeth. Could you tell us what's on either side of the property? What is it? Talk about the adjacent properties?
Sure. Yeah, I can go. I'm gonna just. Should I just put up McDonough's exhibit?
Yeah, if you could just put up the existing condition.
Can you guys see the screen now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so our lot is right here, 26626. Adjacent to us, we have this big vacant lot, and then to our right, we have these two houses that are actually at grade. I'm sorry, at street line. This is a better visual of the rear of the site.
So,
You can see our
Patrick,
lot.
on the side that there are those existing houses there, is that the side where there will be the 3 feet, which will allow for windows?
That is correct.
And the other side is right on the property line?
Correct. Right here.
Okay. Thanks, Mr. Leswell. Mr. Leswell, is you're also asking for a variance for impervious lot coverage. Any chance to use permeable pavers?
That that was a condition, that was a request by the planner, and I spoke to my client this afternoon, and we are in agreement with that.
So as a condition of approval, you'll agree to use permeable pavers. Where can you use those?
It looks like the concrete, is it the concrete walkway pad on the south? And
That
east
is
side?
correct. That's correct.
I'm sorry, I don't know who is speaking.
That was the attorney leading the witness. Patrick,
Oh.
is that on the south and the east side, the walkways there that we could do that?
That is correct. So the two walkways would be pervious pavers.
Is there a rear yard?
We do not have. So there's a walkway. You guys can see the screen going down. If you're facing, just for argument's sake, on this drawing, the left side of the page, this walkway going to the back of the property, this would be now pervious pavers, as well as the driveway could be pervious pavers.
How about the rear yard?
The rear yard is currently grass.
Excuse me, is what?
It's going to be grass. Right here is going to all be grass draining to a retention basin.
Great, thank you. Any further questions for the architect from the board? And you planted trees here too, didn't you, Mr. Lesbo?
That is correct. We do have our engineer on as well, but we planted 3 trees in the rear, 1 tree in the front. So we got 4 trees total.
And I think technically that's not required, but thank you for thinking that. Council, if there's no further questions from the board, council?
Yeah, if there's no further questions, because we're not seeking site plan approval, I think we can move to our planner to talk about the variance relief, if that's okay with the board.
Mr. McDonough, glad you could join us.
Sorry for being late, Mr. Chair.
It's okay. Do you swear or affirm the testimony about to provide be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name, your address, and relationship to this application.
Sure thing. Hi there, everyone. My name is John McDonough. I am the project planner. My business address is 101 Gibraltar Drive, Parsippany, New Jersey.
Ms. McDonough, is your planning license in the state of New Jersey in full force and effect?
Yes, it is.
Mr. McDonough is well known to this board, will accept him as an expert in the field of planning. Council.
Great. Mr. McDonough, for the testimony of Mr. Lesbriel, you understand that we have some bulk variance relief we're seeking tonight. Can you please provide planning testimony to justify that relief?
Sure. So we're here in the R3 zone. We're dealing with a permitted use. 2-family dwellings are permitted in the zone. So the applicant's not asking the board to move on any use relief or any D relief. The only reason why this application is in front of the planning board, in front of the zoning board and not the planning board, is because 2-family dwellings are site plan exempt. So whenever you lack a site plan but have variances, that's when this board comes into play. So that's the reason why this application is before the board, notwithstanding the fact that it is a permitted use. The applicant is asking the board to move on 4 C variances here. Patrick just hit them on the technical side, and I'll bring them back to the statutory criteria. You've got relief here for lot area, where the minimum requirement for a 2-family and for a 1-family is 2,500 square feet. The applicant has 2,259 square feet, so a slight deficiency, which is an existing condition due to that irregular shape of the property on those exhibits that Patrick just showed you. I have them here as well if the board wants to see more. Likewise, we've got a front yard setback variance of 0.5 feet being the prevailing setback in the area, and the applicant is asking the board to move on 6 feet so we can effectuate that setback in the front. The side yard setback, I think the board just vetted. We've got the side yard on what I'll call the left side if you're looking from plan view over by that vacant lot. 0.6 feet or less than 1 foot, where 3 feet would be the minimum that's required. Obviously, per building code, any future building on that adjacent lot would have to respect the building code offset. And then finally, the impervious coverage, a slight uptick over that which is allowed, 67%, where 65 is the maximum that's allowed, being offset and mitigated by the pervious pavement that the applicant is proposing, I think is a reasonable accommodation to meet the spirit of the ordinance. All said, all four of those variances are justifiable under the C1 hardship test, relief related to the land, which is undersized here, to the irregular shape of the property, and also under the C2 balancing, where the benefits of the application as a whole would substantially outweigh any detriments. It's a vacant lot. We're going to reverse the stagnation, revitalize the site, put it back into productive use with a permitted use here in the zone that is reasonably sized, given the context of your ordinance, advancing purpose A, the general welfare, with new housing stock. Purpose M, efficient use of land by repurposing a previously developed lot. And then purpose I, the promotion of a desirable visual environment with a building that's attractive and compatible with the area. Based on all the testimony, all relief can be granted here without any substantially adverse impacts to the public, without substantial impairment to the zone. Therefore, I believe the applicant has met its burden under the law and approval is warranted. That's all I have on direct, Chris.
Now,
Okay. And I have no further questions for this witness.
are there any questions for the planner from the board? Questions for the planner from the board? I see none. Council, we're going to call Mr. Azadmir. He's here.
He is here. We don't have site plan that we're seeking, so I believe that we went over the variances in a way that allowed Mr. McDonough to put on testimony to allow the board to grant that relief. If there are any specific elements that you'd like to talk about, we did show that site plan. I know Mr. Baumann is eager to go, but I just want to be conscious of the board's time. I know you have an agenda tonight.
Mr. Azadmir, is there anything that you have a burning thing to tell us?
Good evening, Chairman. Everything was covered, so I really have nothing to add, and we will be working with your professionals to address any comments that they may have. And we will be in compliance with the conditions imposed by the board and by your professionals.
And forgive me, are there any members of the public who have a question for the architect or the planner? If so, please identify yourself by raising your hand. You could do so by using the raise hand feature at the bottom of your screen. If you're on the telephone, you can identify yourself and let us know you have questions by pressing *9. I'd ask you to do so now, please. I see no raised hands. It's now time for any persons who care from the public to make comments. If you have a comment you would like to make about this matter, please identify yourself by using the raised hand feature on your computer screen or mobile device. If you're on a telephone, press *9. If you care to make a statement, please do identify yourself by raising your virtual hand now. I see no raised hands. Council?
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, members of the board. I would respectfully ask that the board grant the variance relief sought tonight in connection with the construction of this two-family dwelling. We believe it'll be great for the community. It will take a vacant infill lot and develop it. I think it meets all of the goals that the city is trying to achieve with more housing and putting vacant land into productive use. So with that, I would just ask the board to vote favorably on this application.
Thank you, Council. We're now in discussion. Is there any discussion from the board? Commissioner Hall.
Yes, I have my hand raised. So this is pretty straightforward. They're filling in vacant land. It'll be something positive to the community. We were a little worried about the car being out on the street. They agreed to move it further into through the driveway or into the parking under the house. That was good. Before I could ask about trees, you mentioned it. Didn't have to do it. That was a plus. Grass in the backyard, that's a plus. There's all pluses here, and it's pretty straightforward. And the variances, in my opinion, will be in favor of this.
Thank you, Commissioner Hall. Commissioner Cobian, did you?
I did have good evening. I did have my hand raised, but it was the same thing that Commissioner Hall said. It's a pretty straightforward application, and I'm in support of it.
Thank you. Are there any other comments from the board? Additional comments from the board? If none, may I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Hall.
I make a motion to approve application ZBA -25-22-404 South 11th Street. I'm not sure if there's any conditions.
Yes, there was.
With conditions.
We have a motion for approval with conditions. Commissioner Hall, may I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Jones, seconds. Call the roll, please.
Member Hall,
Yes.
Member Hardesty,
Yes.
Member Comesañas,
Yes.
Member Jones,
Yes.
Member Rivero,
Yes.
Member Cobian,
Yes.
Chair Font.
Yes. I note that Commissioner Monfort is here, but not voting on this. Congratulations, Council.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your efficient presentation.
I wish the rest of the applicants luck, and I hope everybody enjoys the first night of football.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Have a good evening. Commissioner, Council Allwords. Do we
No
have any
res-
resolutions to be memorialized?
No, Mr. Chairman, not tonight.
How are we? How far behind are we? Do you know?
I don't, but we really need to get paid. I think we are, what, June, Sylvia? June. That's how far we are. We're now in September, so we have June, July, and August, just the 3 months. Sorry.
Call me about that other matter, please.
Will do.
Thank you. Ms. Mejia, do we have any minutes to memorialize?
Not at this time, no.
Council, are there any, wait a minute, I thought we had the August 14th minutes, no? We almost had the August.
We almost did, yeah. Next
Okay.
week.
Yes. Next week?
Next meeting, which will be the 18th.
That's right, let's keep that clear. Council, any matters that we will require us to convene into executive session?
No, sir, not tonight.
Wow. So that concludes our agenda, as Miss Mejia would say. It's 6:40. We are done. Are we meeting next week, Miss Mejia?
No, we are not.
When is our next meeting?
September 18th.
September 18th. So, I hope we remember the old days and see that they're gone. I'm a little concerned because I don't see Miss Juma here. Let's make sure she hasn't fallen under the load of paperwork in her office and make sure she's okay. So our agenda is done. Motion to adjourn is always in order.
Move it.
We have a motion to adjourn, Commissioner Hardesty. You have a second.
Second.
Second, there are many seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good night, everyone.